Do you want to dye your own cotton yarn? Or maybe some bamboo or another plant fiber? My name is Laura and I'm the independent dyer for Quarter Cakes. We're a small yarn company that caters to people who are brand new at the fiber arts, people who are allergic to wool, or people with sensory issues. I started this so that my daughter had some things that I could make for her to wear without being super uncomfortable. But wool and acrylic were really itchy to her, and cotton was a little too rough for her skin, so I needed something where I could soften this cotton and add some colors that I wanted to make her clothes. I want you to have that option also, so I'm going to show you what I use in order to dye this. For cotton, I use Lily's. It's really easy to soften. If you want something that's already soft, I use Truboo. It's bamboo, and this dyes just as easily as the cotton. Recently, we've picked up Pima cotton, which we can dye at home also. So soft. Before I move on to the other items, I want to talk about safety. Gloves. You need gloves. If you do this a lot, you're going to get it all over. Your hands touch the water the most, so keep those covered unless you want to be a Smurf. And even more important, a safety mask. You're going to be working with some dry powders. You're also going to be working with some cotton fibers in the air. Protect your lungs. Whenever I measure my cotton, I like to use something called an Amish Swift. You can also use an umbrella Swift, but when we first started our business, I measured around the outside of a box. Use that to make these continuous loops that we call skeins. The next thing is colors and how we get them to stick. And there are 2 different kinds of colors that you can use for any of your plant fibers. Okay, there's 3. You can use natural dyes. My go-to for beginners, tie-dye. If you're going to be doing a lot, it's really good to invest in a fiber reactive Procyon dye. They don't already include soda ash, but they're much cheaper than getting these. What is soda ash? Good question. Soda ash is our binder. It's also called sodium carbonate. But you'll find it in your stores as something called pH+. I know, that was backwards on the screen. You can find these jugs of pH+ at your pool store, but it's also used in laundry detergent. So if you go to your store and you're in the cleaning aisle, look for something called pH+. Quick tip, this is also a natural softener. So before I put any colors on, it gets to rest in this solution of 1 gallon of water to 1 cup of soda ash. So if you're gonna do a full cone, you probably need to go ahead and get a bucket to mix all this in and to let it soak. Don't think you're gonna use a kitchen bowl and then reuse it in the kitchen, because once this touches yarn, once this touches any of these things that I am listing here, you cannot use it in your kitchen to make food. My colors, because I work in bulk, I do need to have some large containers. If you have some rinse and sanitize extra soup tubs or glass bottles that you use from spaghetti sauce, once they're fully clean, you can use those to store your color. Professionally, you should be using this for your color to water ratio, but sometimes I use a spoon. You can always just pour the color on. I like to paint it on. I get these for cheap. To color in, I use these storage containers. They help me keep the yarn in the safe place. They let me spread out the yarn so I could get the colors where I want the colors to go to. You can also use these pans. They're a little expensive. Or you could use a shoebox. It all depends on how much you're gonna make. In the next video, I'll show you how to prep the yarn, but every video after that is gonna be how we do the colors. If you enjoyed, thanks for staying.